What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Time. I am your host, Jacob Cutter, the Fantasy Guy, and today I have episode number 19 for you. Yes, episode number 19, where we are having another week of the NFL. We are into week 6, so you know what that means. It's another installment of Meet on the 50. Yes, I'm joined again, as always, by one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan, my partner in this journey, and together we are breaking down the slate of games on tap for you. And let me tell you, there's some good ones. There is some good ones this week. So I'm pumped up. He's pumped up. We are excited to watch these games this week, right? So if you are enjoying the videos, if you like this video, smash that like button, tap on that subscribe button, and then just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime a new video drops, and they drop every Tuesday and Friday, you're right there. You're right there to consume the content, right? Because we're always dropping the knowledge. You're right there to just pick it up, shove it in that brain of yours, shake it around, and boom, better fantasy player, better football human being, right? You're going to have more knowledge on the football. You're going to have more knowledge on the football, the game, right? The aspect of football, players, coaches, everything. You're going to have more knowledge on everything, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're just always dropping the knowledge. So, again, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and then just tap on that bell notification. That way you can always stay up to date, right? Don't you want to stay up to date? Stay up to date. It's the most important, right? Because we're always dropping weekly content. Stay up to date. So, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. I hope you got your popcorn. I hope you got your drink. I hope you got your soda. I hope you're relaxed. I hope you're comfy. Because, without further ado, let's get in it in another installment of Meet on the 50. All right, here we are for another week of Meet on the 50. As always, joining me, one of my best friends, my partner in this journey, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It was awesome to go to Arizona and experience the State Farm Stadium. It was an amazing venue. The fans were great. It's just really cool to meet fans from all over the country. Had a great time watching Trey Lance's first start, and unfortunately I wasn't able to catch a lot of the action over the weekend, but I did see some of it on the red zone that they had at the game. So I saw some of those close games. I saw your game, and some really good games. So pretty cool week.
Nice. What was your highlight from the Arizona Cardinals stadium?
It's just awesome. I mean, you can see why that there's been Super Bowls there. I mean, It's just an epic stadium, and it's just super cool. Like, you're in hot Arizona, but it's super air conditioned. It's like cold in there, to be honest. Like, I could have wore a sweatshirt and been fine. My seats were at the 50-yard line on the 49ers side, so I got a glimpse of everything. So it was really cool because I had never sat in that good of seats at a game. So I was really impressed. I definitely want to go back. And like you said, I'm definitely down to go to a game there with you.
Yep. I was just going to say the same thing. Yes, we were talking about it off this past weekend. Definitely getting out there, going to a game, because that stadium is definitely on my bucket list. So I look forward to definitely accomplishing that in the future, 100%. Let's recap last week. Let's just talk about it. Let's get it over with, because I have some explaining to do. I know, okay? All right, let's put the overall season totals up on the screen. Boom. All right, there they are, right? Sitting at, looking good. All right, so let's talking about this week, right? Let's talk about this week, starting with you. Thanks to a Monday night thriller and a comeback that the Ravens saving your week, right? Saving your week, you finished 9-7, going 1-0 on the guaranteed victories. I have a question for you. Whose cell phone number do you have on the Ravens staff? What call did you make on Monday night to inspire that comeback? It was 22-3 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. I mean,
and the funny thing about that is I was watching it with our good friend Jordan. I was watching the game, and Jordan said, "Man, I'm bored. You got to turn this off." And I said, "Hey, 22-3. This game isn't over." And he kind of laughed at me, and I said, "You wait. All they need is a touchdown. All the Ravens need is a touchdown." Now I'll tell you this: did I expect them to come back? No. But did I But did I think that there was a chance that they would come back because of Lamar Jackson? Action Jackson. I think he's earned that nickname back. Over 400 yards. Just an incredible performance.
Yeah.
So, once again, a nail-biter for my guaranteed victory. They've done that to me twice. Once against the Lions with a 66-yard kick, and it took coming back from 22 to 3 to save my... I'm not sure if I can put my guaranteed victories on them anymore because I feel like I'm going to run out of chances there. So, credible game. It was awesome to cap the week off with that.
That's right. You got the 66-yard field goal. Yeah. Whose cell phone number do you have on the Ravens staff? What secret playbook do you have where you're calling these plays, huh? I guess it wasn't John Harbaugh after all. I guess it wasn't John Harbaugh, right? For the season, that puts you at 43-37, right? Growing the separation between the wins and the losses. That's what we want to see. And with that comeback on Monday night, I mean, you can't be stopped. You can't be stopped. 5-0 on the guaranteed victories for the season. Let me see if this feature actually works here. There we go. There it is. Awesome. There it is. There it is. All right. Yes, we got to give you your props there. 5-0. 5-0 on the guaranteed victories. Super duper solid job right there. Just a super job. For myself, it was a no bueno week for Jacobo here. It was a no bueno week. I couldn't catch a break, right? In the morning games, afternoon game, Monday night game, I could not catch a break at any one of these games, right? So for myself, finishing 7-9, going 0-1 on my freaking guaranteed victories. By far the worst week yet. You know what? I'm just going to call it a mulligan, right? Just like Spider-Man and Family Guy, right? Everybody gets one, okay? Everybody gets one. We're going to bounce back here. I need a rebound week here. For the season, after this little hiccup puts me at 48-32. Still a large margin between the wins and losses. Never want to have a bad week, though. With the guaranteed victories, thanks to the frickin' Carolina Panthers, 3-2 overall. Let me down once again. I have to chalk that up to injuries. Their entire defense is starting to go on IR or getting injured. So they look like they are falling fast, right? They look like they are your favorite word, right? A gimmick, right? So yeah. Let's recap last week. Thursday, we saw the Rams almost do what the Rams do, which is just crap the bed every time they go up to Seattle. But like you said, Seattle just doesn't play at home well. Now, luckily, and very bad news for fantasy managers, Russ fractured his finger, gone for 4 weeks. So, you know who had to come in. Geno the Goat Smith. The GOAT. What am I, 5 years old? Come on. He came in and the Rams went to finish the job, right? I don't see how the Seahawks succeed without Russ, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna see how bad they really are. Yeah. You got all the domino pieces are just gonna fall here.
Yep.
You got the person who is running your team is Russ. You guys are just a worthless franchise without him. I don't even care. And you know what? This is my thing. Revenge is sweet because I'm not even talking about. I don't want anybody to ever get injured, so I'm not talking about Russell Wilson's injury. I'm talking about you say that you run the West a week before against an injured team, and then you play the Rams and you get your teeth kicked in. So my thing is no, they almost beat themselves. The Rams did. Yep. But I will tell you this: I didn't think they had a chance to win that game. And now without Russell, you're gonna see what it feels like to play with a CJ Beathard. Because he's never missed a game. So now you're gonna have a gimmick quarterback for 6 or 7 weeks, and you guys are gonna lose 4 to 5 out of those 6 games. I see happening. No playoffs. Woo. And it's either going to be, and the Cardinals run that division, so don't ever say that you run the division after you beat us when we were down. And what I will say is, when we play you again in December, I want to see the same tune because maybe our players will be healthy by then.
Let's hope. Let's hope for a healthy game across the board, and of course, the Niners getting the revenge back in December, right? In the morning games, you know what? We didn't even realize that the Jets and Falcons were flying across the pond, right, to good old London, right? We didn't even realize. That one was kind of a snoozer, but it was nice to see the emergence of Kyle Pitts finally against the Jets. Right. But it was nice to see him go off. Yep. It was nice to see him go off in the best game of the morning. And I've been waiting. I have been waiting to be here at this moment with you on camera so I can air out my gripe candidly against NFL Red Zone. Hey.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Hey, let me speak to the man who's picking the games here, okay? We're talking back-to-back weeks. Back-to-back weeks. You had the undefeated Carolina Panthers. You had the one-loss freaking Dallas Cowboys. It's a blowout first half. It ends up becoming a one-score game. You don't show nothing. The last 8 minutes, you show nothing of that game. I didn't even realize it was close until I got the touchdown alerts on my phone. So let's fast forward to this week. Oh, I'm thinking, okay, we'll see. 3-1 Bengals versus the 3-1 Green Bay Packers, right? Great game. Should be the best game of the morning, right? Most talent. Looks like one of the most young, talented quarterbacks against, obviously, probably the second or third greatest quarterback of all time, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. But you don't show it. What are you showing me? You're showing me the 1-3 Lions the 1-3 Vikings versus the 0-4 Lions. The game is a one-score game. Going into the fourth quarter, you're showing me the Lions and the Vikings. You're showing me you're showing me who else are you showing me? You're showing me the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. Two irrelevant teams. You're not putting the best game on television? Holy crap. Holy crap, man.
And you know what? And they lost their director or something of production. Somebody, I remember Hansen talking about at the beginning of the year, they lost somebody where I don't know if he passed away or he retired. I think he retired.
Could have been.
And he was like the production of video, the director of video, for the video services.
Yep.
I think that has to do with it because I don't know. There's something fishy about this year on Red Zone. Now that you pointed it out, it didn't register in my brain until you pointed it out. But they've been selecting some really weird games this year.
Yeah, the games that they're focusing on are games that they don't need to focus on. I mean, that game should have been shown over any other game. Not just because I'm a Bengals fan, because it's a good game. The game was competitive the entire way through. And then you had one of the most exciting, most random endings you could ever wish for in a football game where you have these field goal kickers going back and forth on who can miss the least. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable, the coverage, the lack of coverage that some of these games are getting. But that is one of my gripes. I have another gripe. It's not within our red zone, but we'll get to it. Oh, jeez. Okay, I had to get that one out. In the afternoon, we saw, and we're going to have to talk about this, we saw the Raiders drop a bad game to Chicago. Looking, they're looking to fully rebound after that game, after the events that has transpired over the course of this past week. Seeing how that we are a sports channel and we talk about the NFL, I feel that we do have a responsibility to talk about this. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I do have a couple things to say. I will echo what I said on Tuesday, which is John Gruden made very, very poor decisions. Very poor decisions. Head-scratching decisions. There's no saving face from what he did, basically. You're not saving yourself from that. So he basically dug his own grave, and now he has to live with all these consequences that are coming his way. He chose to do it. But I have to echo Mark Davis, and I never thought I would say this. We should all be going after the NFL to have them release for the answers for why now and why John Gruden. Because let's look at this as a whole, right? They needed to release everything that was a part of this investigation, right? To have all of this information that we're learning for 6 months to a year now. They've had all of this stuff for 6 months to a year now. And the guy who gets punished is the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders? Excuse me, do we need to pull up a map? The last time I checked, Las Vegas is over 2,000 miles away from Washington, D.C. So my question is this. Why is Roger Goodell protecting Dan Schneider and the Washington football team? Why? So, we'll leave it at that. I'm curious to see what you think real fast about this whole situation. But that's where I'm going to leave it. It's just, there's a lot of these head-scratching decisions made, by John, the NFL, and Roger Goodell. But some of these questions need to start being asked. That's what I have to say on it. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack with this one, and, we won't unpack it fully here, but, we can kind of just get into it briefly, like you said. But, I mean, just a couple of points are, at first I was like, it seems a little bit, crazy to think that he needs to resign or needs to be punished after one email. But when there's a plethora of them that have been released over a span of 7 or 8 years, that makes a little bit more sense now. Yeah. But like you said, the first email, it didn't go through Schefter, it went through the Washington Post. So somebody was out to get John Gruden. Mm-hmm. And this is my thing. There's thousands of emails. Yep. This is just the first domino. You think other owners or other players or other coaches, assistant coaches, out here, GMs, have not said stuff like that, then you are mistaken. Yeah. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of negativity, I think, within the league and that we don't know about because, we only see what we see on TV. We don't see things behind closed doors. Yep. So very well. I think he was targeted. I'm not entirely sure why these other people are being protected, but there's gonna be a lot more coming out, I believe, in this scandal. I mean, there's just, and like I said, he didn't do anything illegal, but just morally, language, just unethical. It's not the right thing to do. Yeah. But it's why now? That's the question. Mm-hmm. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I agree with everything that you say. But on a lighter note, we did see the Arizona Cardinals still stay undefeated, right? I get it was against the Niners, but it was a very hard-fought game. My question that I have for you is, what are your thoughts on Trey? I really like Trey Lance. I think that, there's things that he needs to work on because I went and looked at the film. I think that there's certain situations where he snaps the ball and he can just throw, like the receivers are going to be open. Yeah. He doesn't necessarily need to move around and then throw the ball because the play is designed for those receivers to get open. But he's a rookie. It's something that I probably wouldn't have had the vision for, on the field regardless until I, broke down the film. I just wanted to break down the film. So I think that he's a very tenacious player. He had a very valiant effort. I thought that he did everything that he could. I think that his performance is very promising. He gave us a chance to win the game. I think that the scoreboard doesn't, I think that we left, at least 13 points off of the board. Yeah. I think Trey should have went up and over on that goal line stance, but he'll learn from that. You got to go high, you can't go low because they stopped him. Yep. I think that we probably should have kicked some of those field goals, and I think when we were up 10-7 and it was 4th and 4 and we were at about the 50-yard line, we should have punted it there because our defense was playing exceptional. What did they do when they got the ball? At the 48-yard line, they drove down and scored with DeAndre Hopkins. So I just think that, I'm very impressed. I think he's ready. I think he'll be ready soon. I just think that he has a lot more to learn. What do you think?
I like it. No, I like everything that you said there. My comments on Trey will always stay the same. As a rookie, I love his quarterback vision. I think he has a vision of a 2-year, 3-year vet. I'll always stand by that. I think he needs to play catch with his receivers more. I think that's what needs to happen, so they understand that this guy is going to fire the ball 95 mile an hour, whether you like it or not, because that's just how he throws the ball. But if you look at Patrick Mahomes, that's exactly what happened his first season and his first practices. None of those guys on Kansas City experienced anything like Patrick Mahomes before. So when he was throwing these guys these balls and they couldn't catch him, it wasn't on the Pat. It was on these receivers and these tight ends not realizing, holy crap, this is like a kid. This is still a young kid with a young arm who can fire this ball like 90 miles an hour. So I got to be ready because it's coming. So once that happens, I think that's when we'll start seeing the receivers come through a lot more for him. But again, yeah, his QB vision, he's able to move. I love when love when he decides to tuck and run. I think he has, again, it's just his QB vision that's what I think is the most impressive to me. That's what I keep talking about. It's just he seems to know what to do with only really quarterbacking for a year. And that's weird. That's just weird to me. It just doesn't make sense. So he's kind of like that Pat Mahomes, that anomaly in my mind. So that's why I call him Baby Mahomes. Not only does he look like him, I mean, this kid's only played 1 year in college, and he's in the NFL. Like, I mean, I don't know what more you need to say.
He's 21 years old, and just to add to that. Yeah, his pocket elusiveness, the way that he's able to sense people around him, and he's able to move and maneuver out of that. That's what I saw in person that I was very impressed with. Because there was a few times where I thought, you're going to get sacked. And he was able to get find his way out of it. So that was awesome. He's developing that Russ elusiveness already. And he's already early on in his career, right? The most elusive quarterback, I think we can both agree, is Russ. I don't know how this guy. Absolutely. I don't know how this guy I don't know how he gets out of these situations, but he's the most elusive. But he has that, and he's a giant compared to Russ. So we shall see. It's a bright future in San Francisco. I'll say that. And then in the two night games, I should say, let's talk about the first one. What looks to be the passing of the torch, right, as the best team in the AFC, the team to beat, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills handling the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, it wasn't even a game. It wasn't even close. And then Monday, we talked about it a little bit, but let's say this. We saw an epic comeback from an MVP candidate. Lamar Jackson has solidified himself in that MVP conversation, and if you don't think so, you are ridiculous, right? Because I don't know. You must have made the call to him. Like, I'll keep saying it because he must have said, he's like, oh, okay, you guys are going to go for 2, up 19, not get it? You done messed up, Carzon. You done messed up, all right? And he handled him. He handled him in an epic comeback. So, Lamar Jackson, I said it at the beginning of the year, watch out. He could have a special year. Lamar Jackson seems to be back. And that pocket passer that is developing in Lamar Jackson, looks nice too. Looks nice. All right. Lot to cover there. A lot happened last week. We had to talk about it, but like a newspaper, we're going to flip the page, new story, and for this instance, new slate of games, I guess. We're starting off on Thursday for everybody yesterday. For us tomorrow, we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Philly, the city of brotherly love. What do you got for me? Yeah, it was impressive, that Philly was able to beat Carolina. I thought, I definitely picked Carolina on that one. So, got to give, Philly some credit here, but it was even more impressive to see Tom Brady went off the way he did against Miami. So, I don't care that, they're the Miami Dolphins. I still think that to sling the ball the way he did, that was awesome. So I'm definitely going to pick Tampa Bay here. I think that they win this one 28-17.
Yeah, I said it last week. The Eagles aren't playing well, but Jalen Hurts is playing well. The kid can ball, and I like it. He has heart, and that's my favorite thing about him. In a stunner last week, the Eagles pull off the upset, ruining my guaranteed victory against the Panthers. However, On the flip side, you have the GOAT, Tom Brady, just having one of the best performances of his entire career, if that's even still possible. He's having one of the best performances of his entire career and dominating the Dolphins. And I think the Bucs here helped Tom get his revenge on the Eagles for that Super Bowl. So I think it's a blowout win with some garbage time TDs. Tampa Bay 45-21. Starting us off in the early morning. We'll see it again, right? Hello, Governor. Would you like to watch some footy on the telly? Right? We got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Could be the future London Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you got for me?
Well, I got for you some sleep because I don't think I'll be awake during this one. I think for sure I will be in my bed going to sleep. So, maybe I'll wake up for probably the last half hour or something because I generally wake up around 9 on Sundays just because of the games. But, too early for me, that's for sure, 6:30. But that's pretty cool that they got the London games back. I always think they're awesome. I think, you know what? I think Jacksonville gets their first win here against Miami. I'm going to pick Jaguars 20-14.
I like it. Yeah, I got Jacksonville on an upward trend. I got Miami on who has just seemingly plateaued, and it's basically going to get as good as it's going to get, it looks like. So I think, and after John took the bullet for Urban, with the story of the week and becoming the donkey of the week last week, I think the Jags rebound from that hard-fought game against Tennessee. Trevor's only looking better, right? Since that Bengal game, he has not looked bad. So I think the Jags have a big game and what could potentially be their future home and dominate the Dolphins. Next up, we got a classic division rivalry, classic division matchup here. We got the Green Bay Packers traveling to, I don't know if it's still called Soldier Field, but it'll always be called Soldier Field to me. We got traveling to Soldier Field, taking on the Chicago Bears. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I always call it Soldier Field as well. I'm going to pick Green Bay here. I think Green Bay, I think that they are on a roll, and I think that they're very familiar with the Bears. I will give the Bears some credit, but not enough to beat Aaron Rodgers. I think he's very familiar with this team and very familiar with this field. I think that they win this one 28-14.
Yeah, even after a solid defensive performance in Vegas, I think we can all agree that Green Bay, Green Bay's going to go in there and do what Green Bay normally does, which is steamroll the Bears. So I think just like, they had a great game in Cincinnati. The Packers had a great game in Cincinnati. It was an exciting game. The Bengals threw every single shot that they possibly had at them, and they were able to fend it off to grab that victory. So I think Aaron continues his dominance, right? Do you remember what happened in Week 1? Because I don't remember what happened in Week 1.
Anymore.
I mean, yeah. I think that Aaron went back to this offseason. I think we're getting the real AA run right now. So Aaron Rodgers absolutely balling out for the Packers. Packers 35-21. I think Justin Fields gets it going. I don't think he's thrown it. I think maybe he has thrown a touchdown, but I don't think he's thrown many touchdowns. So come on, Matt Nagy, get the kid going. Jesus. So I got Green Bay 35-21 in a relatively easy game. Might be a defensive game. Could be a defensive game. Our next game up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on or traveling to Motor City to take on the Detroit Lions. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I actually feel bad for Detroit after seeing Dan Campbell's interview. I think that they've had a couple heartbreaking losses, and they've showed a lot of effort down the stretch and have really competed to stay in these games. And it just goes to show how hard it is to get a win in the NFL. So they're a pretty decent team. I don't have anything bad to say about Detroit. I think their record is better than what they are. I think they should at least be 2-3, if not, just right around that range. They should have had at least 2 or 3 wins.
Yep.
So, but I am going to pick Cincy. I think they bounce back.
Yeah.
I think Joey's been playing incredible this year. Just comeback player of the year in my eyes. So he's one of those. That's the reward I'm looking at. The 2 players I'm eyeing for that reward are Nick Bosa and Joey B. I think that they capitalize, against, an okay Lions team. And I think that they are able to bounce back and win this one 31-17.
I like it. Yeah, like I mentioned before, in the last game, the Bengals threw everything that they had at the Packers. And in all honesty, they should have won that game. We just couldn't get over the hump to get it done. But I think this is the perfect bounce back game right here. The perfect bounce back game. The Lions team is a fun team to watch, and I knew they were going to be. I knew that conference with Dan Campbell, with whatever he said, we eat nails and we crap thunder, or whatever he said, was epic and legendary. So I feel for the guy. I love his energy. I love the emotion that he brings as a head coach. I don't think I've rarely ever seen many head coaches show the emotion that he displayed, and he was a player. So I completely understand the emotion that he's going through for this team, and they will get there. If he continues with that heart, I'm sorry, but it's the players. It's the players thing. Because if you got that much emotion for your team, if you're pouring yourself that much into your team, your players got to respond. So I don't think it's going to be this week against the Bengals, hopefully. But I do think that the Lions are going to be like the Vikings, like we'll talk about here in a little bit, where they are a couple of just lucky plays away from having a decent record and somewhat competing in that division. Not really, but somewhat competing in that division. So the Lions, I expect to get back on track. Not this week, though. I think Joey B and Jamar, who is easily the front runner for Rookie of the Year, and barring Joey's injury last year, we would have had back-to-back Rookie of the Years, because everybody forgets because Justin Herbert ended up going off since Joey left. But Joey was going to break every single rookie passing record there was. He was going to break the yards, the completions, the touchdowns. He was on track to break it all. So before we get too high on Justin, he deserves all the credit in the world, don't forget about Joey. So I think Joey and Jamar continue to roll. I think the Bengals continue to roll. Bengals 28-10. Our next game up, we got the Houston dumpster fire, sometimes fun to watch, Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. What do you got for me?
Yeah, surprisingly, this is going to be a pretty good matchup. I think this is going to be a good game, maybe even to watch, because, like I said, the Colts prove that they are, they're a little bit above mediocre. I think that they're a pretty good team.
Yeah.
I think that they blew it, but I think that, their defense is pretty solid, and their run game is incredible. So, but I also really I went back and watched the highlights. I really liked what I saw out of Davis Mills.
Yeah.
He played really well. He kind of balled out. I mean, He had almost a perfect QB rating. I think he had 3 touchdowns and no turnovers or no interceptions. I'm not sure if he fumbled. They're looking good with him as a quarterback, which is surprising because where is Deshaun Watson? I don't hear anything about this. I don't know anything about what's going on with him. It's just gone. So that's where I'm at. I just don't understand what happened with that situation, but just because it's been a few weeks and it's like, it just came to me like, where is he? He's just nowhere to be found, like evaporating. So it's, I'm going to pick the Colts here. I think that they bounce back, and I think that, being at home does help. But I think it is a close one. I think Colts win this one 31-28.
Yeah, I really, really, really want to pick Houston here, and I'm almost picking the Colts so that Houston wins, so that I never have to pick the Colts ever again. But I got to go with my gut. I got to go with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going 24-21. I have no faith in this team. Zero, zilch, none, nada. No faith in this team. But against Houston, who's exciting to watch, I'm not going to lie. They had a good game against New England. They had a good game against, I think it was the Browns. They've had a couple of good games this season. So, while, they are the dumpster fire Texans, at least they're putting out a good product on the field. That David Culley, the coach, who seems like a decent coach. So that's good to see. Maybe with the return of T.Y., this team can kind of turn it around. They seem like they turned it around on Monday night, and then I don't know what happened. They disappeared. They became the ponies or the little, the mini horses or something. I don't know. They just got absolutely steamrolled from 2 minutes on to the third quarter in the fourth quarter. Ridiculous. But this might be the last time I'm picking the Colts, 24-21, to handle the Houston Texans. Our next game up, and this one, I don't think it's going to be pretty, folks. We got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the New York Giants. What do you got for me?
I got a guaranteed victory for you. I got the Rams winning this one handedly, 41-24. I think that they go off. I think that they know that they kind of have to keep stride with the Cardinals to keep pace with the divisional race.
Yep.
But I mean, they've got a very stout defensive line, which is going to give New York a lot of problems. And they already are injury pleaded, and they have a lot of problems themselves. So running into this team, like, for them, is just running into a brick wall. Yeah. Unfortunately, so I feel bad for the Giants. I've been there as a Niner fan, so I know what you're feeling. I mean, with Nick Mullins to C.J. Beathard to nobody on the O-line to everybody's hurt. Trust me, I've been there. I know how it feels. I don't think that the Giants have any chance, and I guarantee the Rams win this one, 41-24.
Whoop, 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 whoop. We got a double guaranteed victory, folks. We got a double guaranteed victory. Los Angeles Rams absolutely thrashing. This game has the makings to be ugly. Now, we thought that last week against the Cowboys, and the Giants were able to make a game of it, so I hope they're able to make a game of it. But I think Matt Stafford goes in there, and now people need to realize this, right? Matt has been in Detroit for his entire 12-year career. Going cross-country, this is nothing to him. He's been to the East Coast plenty of times. He's traveled, right? So, and I truly believe that this whole cross-country thing starts with your quarterback. If you see your quarterback lumbering around kind of sluggish and things like that, you're going to play kind of lumbering around and sluggish. No, Matt Stafford's going to come in there like you. I love when you say this. Like he's going to come throwing from the freaking what's it called, the parking lot. This guy's going to be throwing bombs from the parking lot. He's going to be coming out firing. So I think Matt Stafford, this cross-country nonsense doesn't affect the Los Angeles Rams at all, and I think they absolutely dominate the absolutely injured. I mean, your quarterback, your running back, your 3 starting wide receivers. There's Joe Judge, man. Joe Judge, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. And shout out to Danny Dimes, who gives it everything he's got on every single play he has, who got absolutely just smacked in Dallas. But shout out to him for giving everything he got. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's how you earn the respect of your team right there. So I got Los Angeles Rams dominating. Our next game up is going to be a bounce-back game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Washington football team. Both teams looking to rebound. What do you got for me?
Yeah, it was a toss-up between this one and the Rams and the Giants as to what was going to be my guaranteed victory. I don't see any way that the Chiefs drop to 2-4. I don't see any way. I just do not see it. I would be shocked if they dropped to 2-4, because me at that point, there's a big problem. And if you drop to 2-4 against Washington, now I'm starting to really question a lot of things. So I just don't see that. I think that they even out the record at 3-3. I think that they know that this is a must-win. I mean, you have to win this game because you've got a lot of other difficult games on your schedule, including another game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Yep. You have to play your division teams for 3 or 4 more times. You have to win this game. So. No disrespect towards Washington, because they've played tenacious all year, but I am going to pick the Chiefs here. I think that they bounce back in a close one, 31-21.
Oof, nice. Yeah, I Super Bowl hangover looks very real, right? You are the first person I ever heard who alluded to it this season for the Chiefs. Week 2, you called it. Super Bowl hangover looks to be real. But But I do think that the Kansas City Chiefs rebound simply because the Washington defense, for whatever reason, is garbage. Just like the Chiefs defense, I call this game the battle of the crappy defenses because that's what it is. It's pretty much which defense is going to get the stop. That's pretty much what I got it going down to. And I got the Chiefs pulling out 35-32. Again, it's going to come down to which defense can get the stop. Pat Mahomes and Taylor Heineke are going to do their thing. I think that both of them are going to ball out. That it's which defense can come through when it matters most, when the game is on the line, and I think the Kansas City Chiefs, again, I agree with you. It's kind of hard to see them dropping to 2-4. Can I see Washington pulling out this game because the Chiefs are traveling? I can, yes. I can see Washington doing it. Do I think they're going to? No. Kansas City Chiefs 35-32 and an absolute thriller of a game, a high fantasy scoring game. So if you got players in these games, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Our next game up, we have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to North Carolina, I believe they are in, to Carolina to take on the Panthers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think Minnesota is able to get it done here. I think that there's some question marks with the Panthers now after their loss to Philly. Now Philly is a decent team, but not very good. So, and certainly I don't think they're better than the Vikings. So I think that Minnesota does well in the run game, and I think they get those wide receivers going again, and I think their defense plays well on this one. I think it's a low-scoring, close game. I'm going to pick Minnesota to win this one 21-17. What about you?
Okay. So initially, I had Carolina. I was going to take them, but as I was typing out my analysis, I changed my mind. I think Kirk and the Vikings, and we're thinking alike this week. I think the Vikings, the Vikings are a couple plays away, just like the Lions, from being 4-1. Right? The Vikings very well could be 4-1 this season, and we could be talking about them completely different. We could be picking games for them completely differently. So the Vikings don't look like the old Vikings of themselves, which usually struggle in the beginning of the season, then go on this run at the end of the season to make the playoffs or at least just have a decent season. So I think the Vikings are going to take it to them in this injured defense of Carolina. I want to pick Carolina. I believe that Carolina is a good team, but this is going to be the week that shows us. This will be the week that tells us if Carolina is real or if Carolina is fake, right? If Carolina is willing to take that next step as a team, or if they're going to let the Falcons come out of nowhere, come out of nothingness, and take that second spot in the division from them. Which would be a joke, honestly, with how Atlanta's playing. So Carolina needs to pick it up, step it up, and that defense does need to get healthy. Injuries do play a role, and wins and losses, they do. As much as people don't want to say, they do. But I think the Vikings continue their upward trend, where Carolina continues to trend downwards. Our next game up, and our last morning game, I believe, is the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens in what should be an absolute thriller. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this is the game of the day for me. I think that this is going to be the best game of the day by far. And why they didn't flex out the Steelers and Seahawks for this game? What's going on, NFL?
They're making bad decisions.
You want us to see the Highlighters play again? You want us to see the Seagulls play again?
Yeah.
Come on.
Apparently,
we don't have a quarterback. So
they want to see Gino.
That's a gimmick. Gimmick. So let's switch. Let's get this switched out. There's still time to do it. Please switch it out and let's get this going. This one was really, really hard for me to make a choice, but I'm going to continue rolling with my guy, Justin Herbert. I'm going to continue rolling with him until he proves otherwise. He is on a roll. He put up so many points for me in fantasy. I literally won because of him. I think it was like 44 points. So
he went off.
Talk about an MVP candidate.
Yep.
We got two of them facing each other in this game. I'm going to pick the Chargers in a close one. I think it comes down to the very, very end, 31-28.
I like it.
In the red corner, we have Sandy. I don't know how tall. Weighing in, I don't we got 2 MVP candidates going at it, in which should be just an absolute dogfight. Punches being thrown, haymakers being thrown. I want to go with the Chargers, but let's split this up. Let's have some fun here. I'm going with Lamar Action Jackson here, baby. I think the man continues to roll. I think he shows us his evolution of a pocket passer. Now, he's taking on Justin Herbert, who took the best shot that the Browns gave him. The Browns gave him every shot on the chin that the man could take. Guess what this guy did? Whoop, whoop, knocked him out. One shot, done. KO. Knocked the Browns down. We got a great game for you right here. We got a great game. I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens 32-24 in one of the best games of the year. Calling it now, one of the best games of the year. We're going to see. We're going to see, does Justin stay where he's at on the MVP ladder? Or does Lamar overtake him? We will find out. We shall find out. In the afternoon games, starting us off, we got another banger. We got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Ohio. I mean, what's there in Ohio? Like Cleveland? What's in Cleveland? The Cleveland Browns are in Cleveland. That's who's in Cleveland, all right? So we got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Cleveland Browns. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this is going to be some smoke. We got the Cardinals taking on the Browns. There's going to be some smoke coming from those TV sets. This is going to be a thriller. This is going to be a great game. I'm excited for this one. I'm glad that we have a good afternoon game because it's sometimes the afternoon games, Yeah. So, this will be awesome if I'm able to. I hope this one is televised since the Niners are not playing this week and this one is on Fox. I'm hoping that this is the game that's televised so that I can watch the entire game because honestly, if I can watch this entire game, then no need for Red Zone, especially with what's going on with that cameraman or whoever the director of video is. We're talking to you. The Cardinals and the Browns, awesome game. I actually really like the Cardinals, to be honest with you. I know they're in our division, but I really like them. I like J.J. Watt. I like DeAndre Hopkins. I like Kyler Murray. I like this team. I like their fans. I like their stadium. And I like the city that they play in. So I am going to go with the Cardinals here. I think it could go either way. Yep. But I think that the Cardinals remain undefeated. I think that they had kind of a iffy game last week against a very good defensive line. I think that they struggled because our defensive line got to them. Yeah. And they didn't know what to expect with Trey Lance. It wasn't something you can prepare for.
True.
So I do think that the Cardinals bounce back and they win this one in Cleveland, 31-24.
Ooh, yes. In a game, like you just said, first line of my notes, this game could easily go either way. Easily go either way. I think the play of Kyler, it's going to be much like Justin, right? Kyler's going to have to lead this team to victory. I don't think, sometimes I say the defense is going to have to lead some teams to victory. I think Kyler is going to have to lead this team to victory against this Browns defense. And like I said in the last games, right, with the Chargers, the Browns threw everything that they had at the kid, at Justin Herbert, right? They threw everything that they had. The kid knocked him out, knocked him down, couldn't get back in the game, over, right? Thriller of a game. Kyler has to do the same thing. Kyler has to do the exact same thing. It's Kyler's turn now. He's done it once. He did it already against the Rams. Who says he can't do it against the Browns? Now, I'm going to keep saying this, right? We're going to know how good this Cardinal team is before playoffs even come. We're going to know what this team is made of because this schedule that they are put under, whew, if you're going to win a championship, this is the schedule to win a championship because you are getting every tough test that you could possibly ask for a growing and rising franchise. You're getting it this year. You want to see how good your franchise is? Well, here you go. Here's the schedule to see how good your franchise is. And they are living up to the hype. So, Arizona Cardinals in an absolute thriller in Cleveland, 24-21, going 2-5-0 or 6-0.
6-0.
6-0 for the first time ever?
I think so. If not ever, it was like in 1970 or
But
something.
when they were the St. Louis Cardinals, maybe?
When they ever in our lives.
Yeah, never in my life had the Cardinals started 6-0. I'll say that. Maybe in St. Louis. Maybe when they were the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know. I don't think they've ever started 6-0. But
I don't think so either.
They're starting 6-0 in 2021. That's right, they are. Our next game up, we got a bounce-back game for both teams. We got another bounce-back game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the altitude, Mile High City, to take on the Denver Broncos. What do you got for me?
I got the Broncos in this one. I think the only way that the Raiders won this one is if they had Darren McFadden. Because I know back in like 2010 where he just went off in Denver. I think it's going to take heroics from a lot of players on that team. Just due to everything that's going on. I mean, all the controversy. I don't see it. I don't see that team playing well through that. I think losing your head coach just so abruptly, it definitely hurts the cohesiveness of the team. So I think that they struggle, and especially the game being on the road, I think that hurts them a little bit more. No disrespect towards them. I think they just had like a poor performance last week due to everything that was going on.
Yeah. I
think that they were better than that. I think that, it could have gone a different way if this whole thing with Coach Gruden wouldn't have happened. So I am going to pick Denver here because they are at home. I think that their defense gets going. I'm not sure that the Raiders offense can do much just with the changing of the guard, the new coach. So I don't know much about him. So I am going to pick them 31-20. I'm going to pick the Broncos.
While the Raiders look incredibly fake right now, the Denver Broncos, to me, look like the fakest team in the division. They started off super strong. They beat the teams that they were supposed to beat, and now they're losing to the teams that if you want to see how good you are, you're supposed to beat these teams. So, with all the turmoil and emotion, these games are 100% 50-50. We've seen coaches get fired and the teams come out like the Texans, I think last year when Bill O'Brien was fired. They come out and they score like 35, 42 points or whatever it was, and they just go bananas. We've seen teams respond, and we've seen teams just fold up shop, and it is what it is. Now, I'll say this, the Raiders are not subject to losing coaches mid-season. They are a team that has, I think, more practice than any other team in the NFL at losing their coach mid-season, and then some random dude comes in to coach them, right? We've seen them finish strong, and we've seen them fold up shop and look like the Raiders, right? So I think that they are going to respond. I think that the way that this all happened and what happened, I don't think this is something like John was doing a bad job and he got fired for it, right? This is something that he did very stupidly. Everybody knows it. Everybody on that roster who sees the emails is going to be like, well, John, what are you doing, man? You're a freaking idiot, right? I think everybody on that roster can agree that what John did was incredibly stupid. So I don't think this is much of a, oh man, well, why did they do this? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, you did this. Now you got to accept the consequences. So I think they bounce back. The special teams coach, which it's always the special teams coach. They're always the assistant coach. They're always the assistant coach for some reason. Joe Philbin is the one I'm shouting out the most because he can special teams for like 1,000 different teams. Somehow ends up as the head coach for teams. So I guess, it goes to show. If you're a special teams coach, very good chance. You have a good chance of being a head coach in the NFL. But I got the Las Vegas Raiders in a close one in the altitude, 28-24. But the $1 million question is, what's next? This season is surrounded with question marks. Surrounded with what ifs, right? It looked to start off so strong, right? It was crazy the momentum they were building, crazy some of the wins that they were getting, and now it's just kind of all imploded on itself. So, they should start a reality show called the Las Vegas Raiders and follow this team the rest of the season because I think it's going to be some reality TV drama that we're going to see from the Raiders. Our next game up, kind of a snoozer. We got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New England Patriots. What do you got for me?
Well, we all know what's going to be on Red Zone, like, pretty much the whole time. It's going to be this game. I mean, we already know. It's like Patriots and the Cowboys. Woo, we get to just, I noticed that. When these two teams play, it's like no other teams exist. It's just like, you know what? This is the Cowboy zone, okay? Or this is the Patriot zone, okay? Because we know, how many Cowboy fans there are everywhere. Cowboys. So you like the Cowboys? You like the Yankees too, right? And the Lakers. Oh, got it. Okay. So yeah, we got to go ahead and put Red Zone on for you too. Not interested in this game at all. Don't really care at all. Cowboys are playing really well this year. Patriots, yeah, Mac Jones. I'm still not. Okay, he's efficient. Whatever. I'm not buying into it. I think it's a gimmick. I got not yet. It's going to take me more time to have to buy into this because I'm still looking at 2 and 3, and I'm looking shortly after that. We'll be looking at 2 and 4. I do not think that the Patriots stand a chance in this game. I think the Cowboys go in and they light them up, 41-28.
Yeah. This game is an ad to me, right? Yeah. I think everyone expects Dallas to go into Foxborough and destroy the New England Patriots. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like the Tampa Bay game and Mac Jones balls out, gets good numbers, things like that. They keep it close. But like I said last week, and it was nice to hear, a national commentator, Joe Buck himself, echo what I said. He must have watched the show, right? Thanks, Joe. Echo what I said to the man himself, Troy, when he asked him, "Hey, Troy, have you ever seen a more complete team since you and Michael?" I wonder who asked that. I wonder who said that. I said that. Exactly. Yes, exactly. I said that. Troy confirmed it. Again, this Dallas Cowboys team looks like the most complete team that I think anyone has seen since Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin were on the field. This team is solid in all 3 phases of the game. The question is, can they stay healthy? Can they stay healthy? That is the question. Dallas Cowboys are obliterating the New England Patriots 45-17 in a game that they should win, honestly. If they lose, I guess that tells you what we need to know about the Dallas Cowboys. Are in the Sunday night game, which, like you said, let's flex this, right? Let's hashtag flex Sunday night, right? Let's get that going around here. We need to get this game to the morning and get another game to the evening. We got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, just not interested. I really don't think I'm going to watch. I might watch just because just to see the Seahawks lose. There's nothing better than watching the Seattle Seahawks lose. I mean, I can't think of anything that's better than that. So, I got Pittsburgh winning this one, and not impressively. I mean, because obviously you're playing against Geno Smith, who hasn't been relevant since 2013. So I didn't even know he was still in the league when he went in there. I said, is that Geno Smith? And I saw him going, because that's how much I don't care about the Seahawks. So I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this one. I don't think Seahawks put up much points, maybe 14. Steelers win this one 35-14.
Yeah, I said it would take a miracle. I said it would take a miracle for me to take him, and I guess a certain somebody wants me to pick him, because there ain't no way in hell is Geno Smith beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I despise that team with every fiber of my being, but there is no way Geno Smith is going out there on Sunday night and outperforming Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just not going to happen. So we can just cancel that dream now. Anybody who thinks that's going to happen, cross that off your dream list, because it's not going to happen. Pittsburgh is going to win here. Okay, let's just say that Pittsburgh's going to win here, 24-10. I would be very surprised if the Seahawks get over midfield. before the half ends. I would be very surprised. I'm talking about a lot of 4 and outs. I'm talking about a lot of punts. I don't care if he came in and looked decent against the Rams. You're at home, and the Rams have no idea who the hell you are, right? Half of these players came in, we're still in college, we're still in high school when you got drafted into the league, Gino. No one even knows who you are, bro. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, which they're playing at home, if it was in Seattle, maybe I would take this. I would take the Seahawks, but they're in Pittsburgh. No way. Pittsburgh Steelers 24-10. On Monday, our last game, we made it. Whew! Our last game, we got the Buffalo Bills, which should have been such a good game. We got the Buffalo Bills taking on the disappointing Tennessee Titans. What do you got for me?
And it's so funny when you say disappointing, because you think disappointing, you think 1-4, 2-3, but they're 3-2, and it's like you're thinking in your head, how are they 3-2? It seems like they've lost every single game.
Yeah.
Even the games they've won, it feels like they've lost. So I just disappointed in Tennessee, just like you. It's unfortunate. I hate to see the Calvin Johnson, the Derrick Henry effect, where these players, I feel, are being wasted. Because you know, the rest of the team just can't get it together. They either can't stay healthy or they can't produce, whether it be on defense, offense, both sides of the ball. This man cannot do it by himself. And I don't blame him if he walks. I do not blame him if he walks, because that's what Calvin should have done. Calvin, one of my favorite wide receivers of all time, should have went to a different team. Quite possibly could be sitting there with a Super Bowl ring.
Sure.
I would hate to see Derrick Henry go out without a Super Bowl ring. If this year they don't get Tannehill out of there, Henry needs to leave. So, bottom line, wasn't impressed with Tannehill when he was in Miami. He was always the iffy piece when he went to Tennessee. And now that's coming in reality. That is a reality is setting in. To Titans fans, I am picking the Bills here. Don't think the Titans have a chance, even in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Bills 35-21.
Yeah, besides King Henry, there is absolutely nothing to like about this team. And, but then they go out and get Julio Jones in the offseason? Again, besides King Henry, there is nothing to like about this team. This has been a super disappointing year. And the year that they were supposed to turn the corner, it could have been the Bills-Titans AFC Championship game. Who would have thought that? I mean, talk about you want to see something. I would have wanted to see that. But very disappointing. And a year where they could have just stranglehold their division. You got the Colts who aren't doing anything. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars who aren't doing anything. You got the Houston dumpster fire, sometimes fun to watch Texans not doing anything. Am I missing something? Am I missing something here? Is Mike Vrabel's on another planet? What's going on? What is going on? Why is your message to the team, hey guys, look around the division. Look around at the teams in our division. We are legit the best team, so let's start playing like it. Let's start acting like it. I don't know what's going on, but
that is the softest division in football. I mean,
it's the new NFC East. It's the new NFC East. I mean,
horrible.
I mean, seriously, right?
It's near because Dallas is such a better team than Tennessee, but I get where you're coming from.
True, right? I mean, you look around, and Tennessee should be exactly like Dallas, where they look at all these teams like, you guys might have good seasons, but we're always going to be number one. Now you're letting the Colts in, even though they lost, right? They still can win the division. You have Jacksonville who can turn their season around and win the division. You have Houston, rookie Davis Mills from Stanford, right? From Palo Alto. He can take the division now. Run away with the division. You got to do what good teams do, which is win games and win your division. I mean, this is crazy. But Buffalo continues their march on Los Angeles, Super Bowl 56, with a decisive victory in Tennessee, 42-28. And that is all we have for you on this week's edition of Meat on the 50. I know it was a longer one. We had a lot to cover. A lot of stuff happened. So we appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. As always, I will always be joined by one of my best friends and partner in this journey, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, any last words you got for the people?
Well, it's always a sad, it's always a sad week when your team is on the bye week. You don't have a game to look forward to, so I'll just have to try to compensate with some of the other good games in the morning and the afternoon. Definitely I'm not waking up for that London game. Definitely I'm not watching Seattle Steelers, maybe just to see the Seahawks lose. But who knows? This should be another good week. I think that the two matchups that everybody should look out for are the Chargers-Ravens in the morning, in the afternoon, the Cardinals and the Browns.
I like it. Well, you guys know what I like to say. All that is left to do is for the players to lace up those cleats, suit up that gear, right? Get all the equipment on, take the field, get the job done. Because again, we can give you all our analysis, all our predictions, all our expectations, but at the end of the day, it's not up to us to decide who wins and loses, right? It's up to these guys, these players. So we want to see some good teams, or good games, I guess. We want to see some good action. We have a good slate of games this week, so we want to make it count. We will definitely be tuned in. Again, yes, some teams are on the bye week. So if your team is on the bye week, use this time to just think how your team can get better, right? Use this time to evaluate the other teams in your division to see where you stand after week 6. But you guys know what it is. This is Meat on the 50. For Brandon Sullivan, I'm Jacob Cutler. We will see you guys next week.
Alrighty, and that'll do it for another week of Meat on the 50. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to thank you guys for taking time to watch the video. I know it's a little bit of a longer video. I promise they won't be that long again. There was just a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening last week. So we had to talk about it, and then there's a lot of things happening this week. So of course we had to talk about it. We're a sports channel, right? We're a football channel. We got to talk about what happened. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash that like button, tap on that subscribe button, and then just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new video drops, and they drop every Tuesday and Friday, you're right there, right? You're right there to consume the content, because you can just pick it up, because we're always dropping the knowledge. You just pick it up, shove it in, boom, 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 boom. Better fantasy player, better knowledgeable football human being, because that is what we aim to do. If you're not growing, you are dying. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. As always, I want to thank one of my best friends and my partner, Brandon Sullivan, for his time, expectations, predictions, analysis, everything. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. And again, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like it, please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, tap on that bell notification. You can follow us on Twitter at FantasyTime2021. You can follow us on Facebook at The Fantasy Guy 2021. And then you can follow us on YouTube at FantasyTime2021. All 3 ways you can follow us. All 3 ways. There's 3. Make sure you do it all. As always, there will be the link to the Google Sheets down in the description, where you can follow along with our picks. If you want to see the picks again without having to watch the entire video, you can just click on that Google Docs, and boom, there are the picks for you, updated weekly. So, if you guys like the video, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, tap on that bell notification. I'm going to say it until you do it. Till you do it. But again, this has been Fantasy Time. Thank you guys as always for watching. I'm your host, Jacob Cutler, the Fantasy Guy. And until next time, Jacob Cutler is out.